A pain. There's a lot of hiss.
you want a man for president who's seasoned through and through, but not so doggone seasoned that he won't try something new? A man who's old enough to know
and young enough to do?
Well, it's up to you, it's up to you, it's strictly up to you. But it's Kennedy, 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 Kennedy. Do you want a man with spirit who is not afraid to fight?
A man whose record shows that he will fight for what is right.
A loyal man who'll bring the job a fresh new point of view. Well, it's up to you, it's up to you, it's strictly up to you. 'Cause it's Kennedy, 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 Kennedy. And do you deny to any man the right he's guaranteed to be elected president, no matter what his creed?
It's promised in the Bill of Rights to which we must be true.
So it's up to you, it's up to you, it's strictly up to you. And it's Kennedy, 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 Kennedy. Do you like a man who answers straight, a man who's always fair? We'll measure him against the others, and when you compare, you cast your vote for Kennedy and a change that's overdue. So it's up to you, it's up to you, it's strictly up to you. Here's the Kennedy, 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 Kennedy.
Welcome, welcome, welcome from my humble second bedroom here in the Saucon Valley part of Lehigh Valley in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. Wow. Let me look under the desk here real quick and see if my voice is around here anywhere. No, I don't see it. I guess I'll have to soldier on with whatever's left. From my humble second bedroom here in the Saucon Valley part of the Lehigh Valley in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, part of these United States, North American continent, Western Hemisphere, on this planet Earth, the only one we have, third rock from the sun, in the Terran solar system, part of the Milky Way galaxy. This is TKE Tonight, the Kennedy Effect Tonight for the 8th of April 2025, as we rapidly approach our 6th anniversary. Crikey, how about that? We actually will be on the air with you on our actual real 6th anniversary, which is April 17th. It is a Thursday. We are scheduled to be with you that night, so we'll save all the fun stuff for that night. I want to also say thank you to everybody, as I was with you a bit on Sunday. Some of you may have missed that. Some of you may be really happy that you missed that, and I wouldn't blame you. But it was great to be with you a little bit on Sunday and to say hello to you all again, and to hopefully even possibly remind you who the hell I am, because I certainly don't sound like I used to. Something that I'm not particularly happy about, but I do think my voice is coming back. Today is about the best it sounded. George can tell you it's about the best it sounded for quite a while. It almost sounds normal, but as you can also tell, it's a little raspy and weak, but then again, so am I. Here's a piece of information. I can't do it that way. One of these days, that other side of my God, I'm gonna remember how to do this one of these times. So it's been nice to be back with you. It's everybody who sent even a small message here or there of how you doing, we miss you, any of that kind of thing. It really does mean a lot, because you have things to worry about. You have lives to lead. You have things to worry about. And it's just nice that you would take the time to think about us and to think about me and to think about the show, and it means a lot, and I'm deeply, deeply grateful for it. I thought that a good time to try to get back with you, get back in the swing of things, would be a weeknight 1-hour program. I kind of played producer for the program on Sunday, but I walked away from the computer a bunch of times, and I didn't actually sit here for the full, what was I on Sunday? I think I took you to almost 8:30, so for the final 45 minutes of the program I struggled. It was not very uncomfortable sitting here. I'm still have a lot of, I had abdominal surgery, right? I had pieces of my guts taken out. I have less pieces of me than there were 3 weeks ago. And contrary to what I had said I was going to do, I forgot to bring them home. I was going to plant them to see if I could grow new body parts. And I forgot. And now I've lost out on this wonderful black market opportunity to grow pancreases, or would it be pancreae, and spleens. Spleens I know I have right. Might be pancreae. Might be the proper plural. George is going to Google that right now because I can see him typing away. I had intended to bring them home and then try to grow them. I thought it would be a nice, side hustle, so to speak. But I forgot. So anyway, let's just say hello. Let me say welcome to all of you, and let me say thank you to everybody who's dropped a kind word our way and who stuck with the show. It's very, very, very nice of you, and I deeply, deeply appreciate it. The other thing I think... Go ahead. No, go ahead.
Plural for pancreas is pancreases or pancreata.
Pancreata? What's a pancreata? I don't think that's correct at all. I don't care what you... I'm going to put my red hat on and say I don't care what the internet says. I don't think that's right.
All right, let's go to Webster's.
Let's go to
Webster's.
Do I hear Webster's? Webster's? What was
pancreases?
Why would it be pancreases? That doesn't make any sense. Don't you think it would be pancreae? Do you know what I mean?
It says pancreas or pancreases.
God, that's strange. I don't know.
The pancreas. Well, the pancreas is the only. Is it the only organ that can regenerate itself?
It is not exactly. No.
Is it the liver?
The liver supposedly can. I remember once seeing a scientific report that if you quit smoke, first off, if you smoke, every cigarette you smoke takes about 7 minutes off your life. But that the instant that you quit, your lungs will begin to regenerate. It does not mean that they will ever retain full function, and so on, but they supposedly begin to regenerate as soon as you stop smoking. But I don't think you can just spontaneously grow a new liver, but you can have liver function restored to some extent.
It says the pancreas has a limited capacity to regenerate with the ability to heal itself within about 1 week after acute pancreatitis. But this capacity declines with age and depends on the severity of the damage. So.
Okay.
You're not a Time Lord, but...
Well, and I think that's a crime, really, when you think about it. I think that's a terrible oversight that I am not.
The one thing that did regenerate today was the sarcasm. It just, I mean, it went like tenfold.
Well, listen,
man.
that
It just wow.
that's like riding a bike. Can we be honest?
Right.
I mean, that's just like.
It's like a hydrogen-powered motorcycle.
No, I've never
there,
lost. I mean, that's like riding a bike, throwing a baseball. I mean, you just don't forget to do there. It's muscle memory. There are certain things that you just don't forget. It's like walking or breathing. It's like a spontaneous response. It's just simple. Isn't it? But yeah, I let me also say welcome to Donna. I don't know who else I may have. I think Randall is here. I don't know who else I may have missed in the Facebook chat, which is usually the only place that I can say hello to folks, because I can't seem to scroll my comments. There we go. Randall and Donna. It would appear so far, you lonely folks. Yes, hello and welcome to both of you. Thank you. Let me just say, if I sound differently, different or differently? Different. Grammar. I'm having grammar problems. Notice the sarcasm came back with almost no effort. Grammar, not so much. And for God's sake, don't expect me to spell anything. That's just not going to happen. I do want to say thank you. If I do sound differently, obviously for surgery, you get intubated, right? Stick a tube down your throat, pump air into your lungs, make sure you're still breathing. I was on some pretty heavy crap to knock me out. It's interesting. Somebody asked me today how long I was under anesthesia. I think the last time I remember looking at a clock was 7:30 in the morning. But I know it was after that because I remember going into they had already given me something. I remember actually going into the operating room. But I don't think I was in the operating, well, obviously I was in the operating room, but I wasn't conscious in the operating room for more than a minute or two. I moved from one bed to the next, got a little comfortable, and they didn't even, I can remember a couple of times in my life seeing the mask come down. And you know what the mask is, so it's not really, I'm claustrophobic. I am powerfully claustrophobic. And, I think even the mask might possibly give me a tiny bit of claustrophobia at this point in my life. But I can remember in past surgeries having the mask come down. And I knew what the mask was, so I was like, okay, I'll get through this. And I'm going to be asleep in 10 seconds anyway. I can remember a couple different surgeries where, because I've had 1, 3, 5, 6, probably double-digit numbers of surgeries on this body now. And I can remember, like I said, I can remember a couple where the mask would come over when the nurse would be kind of cheeky and say, "Count down from 100 for me." And I don't think I got to 96. I was waking up in a recovery room. But I had someone ask me today how long I was under.
It was Lynn.
And I think was it Lynn that asked me?
Yeah.
Was it? Yeah, it was, yeah. So I think I was under, I want to say roughly from 7:30. I know it was after that, but it was somewhere in the 7:30 range. And it's interesting that when she asked me that, I was trying to think of what time I woke up in my room, because I don't think I woke up in a recovery room. I think I was directly in my room.
You said like 5 hours.
I thought it was 5 hours, and I'm trying to think of if it was longer.
It could have been longer.
I'm trying to think now. Maybe if it was like 7. I can't remember if I woke up at 12:30 in the afternoon or 2:30 in the afternoon.
Because they would have taken you to pre-op.
Well, right. Pre-op is where I got the little bit of, you're going to feel great. No worries. Relax. We're on our way to the operating room. And, I was starting.
Sorry, I meant post-op. Sorry.
Yeah, I don't, I've woken up in like post-op rooms and then moved to my room.
It's only if you have complications. If you didn't have any complications during the surgery and everything went well, they probably just put you to your room.
Well, I think I may have woken up directly in my own room.
Yeah.
But look, the first day was just, I don't know what.
Propanol was wonderful.
I was on a whole other planet.
Propanol is great.
And I had a pain pump.
And you're out.
Right, and I had the pain pump.
Oh yeah, the pain pump.
Which I made most prolific use of. Let's just be blunt. I used it a lot. Like every chance I could get. But even that I only did for, I think, 2 or 3 days. I kind of stopped using it before they took it from me. My point is, just nothing to do with my voice. My voice just hasn't really returned in the same way. As you can tell, it's weaker. It's much more whispery. I thought I had a pretty decent vocal quality, especially for radio. Certainly have a face for radio, but I also thought I had a voice for it too.
You'll get there.
But it hasn't quite come back quite yet. But I guess is a very, very long-winded way of saying thank you to everybody. I know I'm already looking at the viewership. It's a little lower tonight. I can certainly understand why. After much consternation and tech issues left over from Sunday, George and I were able to get most, if not all of that, fixed this evening. Although I did have to try to go live on Streamlabs, I think, 4 times. And I had to close it and reopen it and resync it again to finally get online. Remember how great everything was a few hours ago? Yeah. What do we need that for? Why would that?
You know that. Come on.
Yeah. No. It's only Streamlabs, isn't it?
Pre-show gremlins.
Yeah, crikey. Cave trolls.
Cave trolls.
They have a cave troll. So thank you for all being back. Let's get a little bit of the business end of the program, shall we? You are watching TKE Tonight, the Kennedy Effect, live for the 8th of April 2025. We are live right now on the Facebook pages of Ghost Claw Productions, Hot101.net, the TCP Media Group, and Our Revolution Pennsylvania, OWOUR, Our Revolution Pennsylvania. We're also live, of course, on our home group Facebook page for all things that surround our program, that other side of information. I am still hopeful. I've been having trouble finding exactly how many members we have. Facebook just tells me it's 1,400, but it won't tell me exactly down to the member how many. It is still our goal. We have about 10 days left. It's still our goal to get to 1,500 members by Easter. Or actually, let's make it by our 6th anniversary. So that gives us about 2 more weeks. If there's anyone that you would like to vote. Wow. Sorry, I just read a headline over here that had the word vote in it. If there's anyone that you would like to invite to be part of our Facebook group, we humbly encourage you to do that. Please invite them to our group, people that you think are like-minded or some that aren't. We encourage you also, of course, to please share the program anywhere that you think it is appropriate, and places it's not. That's the name of the game. Proliferation of the program. The more eyeballs, ears, faces we come across, the more people that become permanent listeners, it's better for the program, and so on. Anyway, we are also live right now because my ego is so tiny. One YouTube channel is not enough. We are live on 2 YouTube channels. That Other Side of Information, our companion YouTube channel with our Facebook group, and of course the YouTube channel of Ghost Claw Productions Radio. GCPR.live has its own YouTube channel, so please check us out there as well. Either YouTube channel is a great place to catch up on programming if you cannot view all of it at any one given time. Thomas does between 2 and 3 hours in the morning. If you can't be there for the full of it and you miss part of it or you want to catch up on it, YouTube, I still think, is the best place to go, and you can watch it all there. You can watch the program that just finished right before us, The Help Desk with Georgia Gilbert. If you missed any of that, perhaps you were having dinner, or perhaps you just know so damn much about computers you don't need their help. And then you realize, oh, I really don't know all that much, which is something that happens to me on a daily basis. You can go back and watch their program on YouTube. I just happen to think it's the best place to follow up on things, to catch up on things. Maybe you heard something that you thought to yourself, wow, did I really just hear that? YouTube, great place to go check it out. We are live. The audio of the program blasts around the globe via hot101.net. Hot101.net, our name is our web address. You can listen to us through our main website. You can also use our Apple app, our Android app at the Google Play Store, and you can tell Alexa to play hot101.net, gcpr.live. Go to our main website. You can listen there. We hope. We were testing that earlier today. That wasn't working quite well, but hopefully the audio has been restored to the website. But you can listen to us there. Excuse me. And one of the great things, and I do say one of the great things because there's multiple great things about both stations, but one of the great things is that you can listen to hot101.net and gcpr.live completely for free. Want to tell you who sponsors the program. That, of course, is Smooth California, smoothca.online, smoothca.online. Smooth California, create a healthy skincare lifestyle. Smooth California is a family-operated and owned skincare formula whose main purpose is to promote a healthy skincare lifestyle. Smooth California is a healthy alternative to commercial products filled with chemicals. Commercial products filled with commercials, he was going to say. That's not right. That's just not right. Smooth California is a healthy alternative to commercial products filled with chemicals and man-made additives that not only do damage to your skin, but to your body as well. Smooth California products are tallow-based, made with 100% natural ingredients, without preservatives or additives. Smooth California, we strive to make your skin stay healthy and smooth. smoothca.online. I want to get to programming note. Following us immediately at hot101.net after we leave the air, the music returns. Following us on GCPR it's Tuesday, so it should be Hurricane Girls from, yes? No. Don't tell me. Don't, you're muted, tell me.
No,
there's nothing.
Not Hurricane Girls.
There's nothing following us?
From 11.
Oh, so there's nothing following us. So if we happen to bleed over a couple of minutes, it won't be a tragedy.
So
not my plan, by the way.
From 11.
Yeah, not my plan, by the way. T. Nathan, conversations with T. Nathan from 11. Oh, wait a minute. I just figured out. Okay, so the reason there's nobody as part of the other thing that I don't know anything about because nobody told me anything. Okay, beautiful.
Yeah.
Lovely being a co-owner. Awesome. Crikey. Jeez.
If you want to keep a secret, don't tell the boss.
Yeah, I mean, that's yeah. Yeah, I wouldn't say that's wrong. Conversations with T. Nathan from 11. Thomas returns tomorrow morning 4, there's a Wednesday thing, and I'm forgetting what it is.
Sound of Coffee.
I know, but he does something on Wednesday.
Oh, it's
There's a theme on Wednesday, and I don't remember what it is. I don't know. I just don't know. Gosh darn it.
Yeah, I forget.
Yeah,
what it
I don't.
is.
I don't.
I know it's Flag on the Play Friday.
Friday,
but
right? That I know.
That yeah.
But there's a
that one,
Wednesday. There's something.
There's a Wednesday thing. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm blanking because I do know, because I've said it before, because I've promoted it before. As far as George and I are concerned, our plan, we're scheduled to rejoin you on Thursday from 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. and then again on Sunday for the big Sunday program from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. All times that I give you for any station, any Facebook broadcast, anything, are Eastern time, unless I should tell you differently. Eastern, we do everything based on Eastern time because that's where George and I live, but that's also all the radio stations work off of Eastern time. If I ever have to tell you anything different, I will absolutely do so, but all times are Eastern. I want to get into the chat quickly because let me hit that tab, because Randall puts in the chat, and it happens to be one of the topics that we were going to try to hit today. So this is from Randall in the chat, and I wish I knew how to put comments. Oh my goodness. Oh boy. One of these days my digestion will get back to normal. It's fine. I got hungry. I ate about enough for a 2 or 3 year old child, and I feel like I've done nothing but eat for a week. I feel sick, and yet somehow I still want ice cream. I'm not sure how that works. There are 3 big foods I have craved since the surgery. I have eaten none of them, which only continues to make the craving perpetuate upon itself. 1, pancakes.
Oh yeah.
Can't tell you why. Honestly, I can't. Other than I've always loved pancakes, and I eat them, and I love them, and I'm one of the rare people that doesn't like them the way most people like them. Like all super airy and fluffy. No. Dense, heavy. Thank you very much. Buttermilk. Like heavy. I don't want to say not cooked all the way through, but you know what I mean when they're still a little
raw.
What would you call it? Yeah, raw maybe is the right word. Yeah. I don't like the big, like, fluffy, airy ones. Get to put syrup and butter on them. Anyway, the way God intended. Vanilla ice cream, which I still have not eaten any of. And I have no idea why.
Opened up again.
What now?
The Jane's that's by us, the ice cream place that's by us, they just opened up again. So
was that the place before you make that
again.
you cross over that road that you can't see very well?
Right.
On the way to you.
Yeah.
And then there's the place that's like on the left, sort of, but not behind you, but like at an angle.
Right.
That's what you're talking about? Okay.
Yeah.
And then pepperoni pizza.
Soft serve.
I don't, one of these things is not like the other. I'm not sure. Those are the 3 things that I have consistently craved since the surgery.
Old Mill Pizza, we'll have to bring some to you.
The pepperoni pizza, I'm not stupid, I've not eaten. Because it will destroy me. I will get reflux, I will get heartburn, I don't know if I can digest it, all of it. But the ice cream and the pancakes, I'm not quite sure why I haven't eaten. And I actually do have a doctor tomorrow, and I may have to get pancakes somewhere on my way home. Even if I just bring them home.
If you get waffles, you can, possibly
waffles
put the ice
are not the
cream on
same
the waffles.
thing as pancakes.
I understand that.
They are fundamentally different. People think they're interchangeable. That is incorrect.
I understand that.
It is fundamentally incorrect. It is one of the great myths of the universe that French toast, waffles, and pancakes are interchangeable. They are not.
No,
they are different entities. And I bristle, and I stand firmly against that. I would like to make a protest sign, and I'm firmly against it.
I guess we're not going to Belgium anytime soon.
Yeah, I get it. Well, that's, yeah.
Whoa.
But I actually did eat dinner tonight, and I'm suffering from it. And the dinner was about as plain as humanly possible. It was white meat chicken and white plain mashed potatoes, and it's destroying my stomach. My thirst is actually worse than it was before the surgery. But boy, my stomach just has not recovered. Anyway, Randall mentions in the chat, I've lost 10.5% of my 401k, and my wife has now lost 15.6% of her 401k. Screw Trump and his craziness on tariffs. Let's think about it this way. And I do this only to make the math a little easier. Let's assume... This is why we started off with an hour program. Let's just say that Randall and his wife's 401k is worth $1,000. And clearly it's worth much more than that, but just for the fun, relative fun and ease of math, let's just say $1,000. And my guess is, Randall, that you've lost that value just since last Thursday. So in a matter of 4 trading days, because the Asian trading would have started during our Sunday. The Asian markets would have been open because it was their Monday. So in 3 to 4 trading days, you and your wife lost a combined 26% value of your 401k, which would mean, let's assume that your 401k is worth $1,000. Actually, what's an easier way for me to do this? Actually, $100. Let's just say it's $100. No, all I have to do is add a 0. All right, 1,000 still works either way. So let's just say, for the sake of argument, that Randall's 401k, and in combination with his wife, is $1,000. And again, I'm doing this for the ease of math. And if you're listening to the machinations of my brain, you would say that the math isn't terribly easy. But let's just try to make it a little simpler for math. Since last Thursday, of that $1,000, Randall and his wife have lost $261 out of 1,000. Think about that. You thought you had $1,000. You really only have about 740 of it. And you haven't even paid taxes on what you pulled out of the 401k yet. Can you imagine? And that's just since last Thursday. Randall mentions the Trump madness of tariffs, or craziness is the word he used. Here's the weird thing. We've talked about this on this program before, probably too many times. At the basis of the idea, or ideal, or arguably principle, although I don't think Trump has principles about anything, Trump is not wrong about tariffs. We had a very broad-based, complex tariff system in this country that funded the federal government in its entirety until 1912. It was the Reagan administration that completely dismantled the American tariff system because the rich people and the big corporations that bought Reagan and bought the Republican Party wanted to break unions. They wanted cheap labor. They wanted to be able to move their manufacturing overseas and have the finished goods, the products, returned to the United States without penalty. And Reagan was happy to do it because he became rich in the process. It was Alexander Hamilton that instituted the system of tariffs, value-added taxes, import taxes in this country based on the British system at the behest of President Washington to help develop American industry. Tariffs, that is exactly what tariffs are designed to do, is to protect, foster, grow, insert proper term here, insert, proper synonym here, to help grow domestic industry and protect it from cheap, illegal, foreign interference. You know the example I've used here before, the story I've used on the program before, that President Washington was going to be inaugurated as the very first president of the United States. He wanted an American-made suit and could not find one. And he went to Hamilton and said, "Why can't I find a suit made in this country?" And Hamilton said, "Because it's illegal." It was illegal. Wool had to be shipped back to England, where it was made into finished goods and then sent back to the United States to be sold. That system was still in place. Domestic-made suits were made, but they were made illegally, and there simply wasn't enough of them, and there wasn't enough quality, and the ones that could be made were too expensive in comparison to the British-made suits. So Washington said, how do we develop a domestic manufacturing base for suits? And Hamilton told him, you do it through tariffs. You do it through limiting exports of raw materials as well, but you do it through tariffs. It takes $100 for a domestic maker to make a suit. The British can do it for $60. Well, you put a 40% tariff on it, and now they're both the same price. They're both $100. Put a 60% tariff on it, and now the British-made suit is $120, while the American-made suit is $100. You can also use a combination of the fact that domestic wool, you could put a law that domestic wool cannot be shipped outside the country, it has to be used and kept inside the United States. That also would lower prices. And so that's what Washington did. He allowed Hamilton to establish a system of tariffs and import taxes, and it funded the entirety of the federal government up until 1912. Trump is not wrong about the idea of tariffs. What he is wrong about is his shotgun, scatterbrained methods under which he is implementing them. To simply put a tariff on a nation and every single last thing that comes from it into this country is idiotic. It's intellectually lazy. There are things that come from every other country on earth into this country that this country cannot make for itself. Are there places in the United States that make soy sauce? Sure. the best soy sauce in the world probably comes from Asia. When you go to a liquor store and you want a good bottle of wine, there are many, many domestic wines that you can buy. But maybe you want a French bottle of wine. You can still buy one. There are things that each country makes that is wholly unique to that country. Things that we just don't make here. Those items have been tariffed as well. Now, wine, perhaps, is a pretty darn good example. I'm not a big wine drinker. Kristen's I shouldn't say much bigger drinker, that didn't come out right, but she enjoys wine much more than I. We go to the store, she wants to buy a bottle of wine, we see 2 bottles of red, one from France, one from Italy, one from California. Trump's tariffs are designed to make the California wine the cheapest of the 3. But they also seem to be designed to make the French and Italian wines not just expensive, but out of reach. I have no problem with putting a tariff on imported wine. If the bottle from California is $25 and you want to add tariffs to make the Italian bottle $30 and the French bottle $35, I'm good with that. The American consumer can still make that choice when they're making a purchase. But to place tariffs on a 25%, 35%, 40%, some nations 67, 70, 75% on literally every single thing that comes to this country from that country, that's not protectionism. That's not protecting domestic industry. That's not fostering the growth of domestic industry. That's just a trade war. And so the Trump regime has told you this since Thursday about all these countries have approached us about negotiations about ending these tariffs, which is what we wanted to do. We wanted to drive them to the negotiating table. Trump has bitched a lot about NAFTA. Well, he did force a renegotiation of NAFTA during his first term. And a second NAFTA, I think they called it the NCA? NACA, something like that, North American, I forget what it was negotiated and signed off by his own administration, and now he's telling you what a terrible deal it was. He made the flippin' deal in the first place.
I'm sorry, it was a North American Free Trade Agreement.
That's the Clinton era. It was renamed under the first Trump administration. Yes.
Oh, sorry.
It was renegotiated and renamed under the first Trump regime.
Sorry.
Except that he's come back in the second Trump regime and told you that the very trade agreement that his regime negotiated the first time is screwing you. Well, by the way, all the reporting at the time told you, yes, it was screwing you. Trump wasn't telling you that because he's the one who put his name on it. Most of his cult, of course, who does no research, doesn't read, only listens to what they are told, thinks that it's the original NAFTA from the 90s that's still screwing them. Well, Trump rewrote it. In conjunction with the Canadians and the Mexicans, it was redrawn, it was rewritten. And he proudly signed it. He campaigned on it. He listed it as a great achievement of his first regime. And now comes back in the second one and tells you that agreement stinks, it's screwing you. You signed it, you fool. You negotiated it. I happen to think that these negotiations, this regime is telling you, all these countries are coming to us now. They want to negotiate. They want to make sure that they want to talk down these tariffs. They want a better trade deal. They want more fair trade. And, maybe they do. But it would seem to me that the goal, the real goal of these tariffs is not to protect American industry, develop American industry, foster new American industries. It's to drive certain companies into the ground, make their stocks cheap, easy to scoop up. It's to intimidate small countries who depend on American trade. And notice, when Trump himself and the members of his regime talk about negotiation, they talk about, Trump especially, well, they want to make a deal with me. They want me to talk to them. Now, he is the president. Even though he has a chief foreign trade negotiator, Constitution by default, the president is the head trade negotiator of the country. He does have a foreign trade representative, but by default, he's the head foreign trade representative. But when you hear this regime talk about they all want to deal with us now they're all scared. They don't want these tariffs. These tariffs are working exactly the way we said they would. They want to make a deal with me. I personally think these tariffs are designed to enrich Trump and the people who own him and his family. If he was serious about trade, he wouldn't have given TikTok another 75 days to find a buyer. If he was serious about trade, he would have targeted products from every single country on earth. I'm going to slap a 25% tariff on this particular thing. He's touted these tariffs as a rebirth, as a protection of the American auto industry. There's not a single vehicle in this country that is 100% made in this country anymore. Every single vehicle, regardless of who the manufacturer is. And remember, there are big foreign auto makers that have factories here. Toyota, Nissan, Subaru, I think, does. Honda, Volkswagen, among others. There is no 100% American auto manufacturer. Even the American auto manufacturers don't 100% make their cars in America. My Jeep is predominantly made in Canada. Chevys are predominantly made in Mexico. GM might still have its offices in Detroit. It doesn't make anything there. These tariffs, in my humble opinion, are designed to enrich Trump and his family and the people that own him. Kristen and I watched on Monday, I guess it was yesterday. Markets were down 1,500, 2,000 points. In the middle of the day, they rallied. And they had wiped out the loss, and they were actually up 600 and 800 points for no particular reason whatsoever. There were no change, or there was no announced change in tariffs, policy, or rollouts, or percentages. just suddenly the market shot up 3,000 points, wiping out the nearly 2,000 in losses, and then positive another 600 to 800 points. For no reason whatsoever. Nothing had changed. This is all a shell game. It's all a game. And it's a game that you and I aren't part of. No one in the Trump regime is laying awake at night thinking that of every $1,000 worth of 401k that Randall and his wife have, over 250 of it has been taken from them. A quarter. An entire quarter of it. No one in this regime gives a flying shit about Randall and his wife and their 401k, or any of your 401ks for that matter, because they still get to trade them and play with them and buy and sell and pay themselves exorbitant commissions every time they do it. Are we great yet? Are we great again yet? Did I miss that part? Am I missing that part? If you would like to call quickly Randall, you can. Notice I said quickly. I literally don't have the strength to sit here too much longer. But of course you can call me. We can bleed over a little bit past 9, but I'm not sitting here till 11. Ain't happening. Not a chance. I especially think about the folks in deep red states. People who are self-employed, farmers, owner-operators of truckers. All they have to retire on is whatever they themselves have put away, because they are their own company. They may have created 401k plans of their own. Oh, tell me, did I turn... that's the wrong mouse. That's the wrong mouse. I used the wrong mouse. I did turn the phone on, didn't I? I think I did. I did. I turned the phone on. It's there. You can call me, my friend, if you want to. You're going to run out of time, though, because I'm going to fall asleep right behind this mic. All these people who voted for Trump blindly because they didn't think. Holy cow, could more things be making sounds? Wow. Can anything else ring?
I don't know.
Holy crap. My God, how many devices just rang? 1, 2,
I heard
3?
two. I heard two.
3. I think 3 of them.
Maybe it was 3, but I definitely
Bloody
heard 2.
hell, how about that? My goodness gracious. Go ahead, sir. You got a couple of minutes before I pass out.
Yep. The stock market went up. There was a false Bloomberg X account that said that Trump was going to rescind all of the tariffs. That's what sent it up, and then it was proven. I think it was the AP that actually proved it. Maybe it was some other news agency proved it was a total lie, and then the stocks went back, and then we had a negative end of the day, 4 p.m. yesterday.
Well, I wonder why they didn't fact check that on Facebook. Oh, yeah, that's why we don't do that anymore.
No.
Oh, yeah.
Rachel Madden said last night she's reached 1 million followers on Blue Sky.
Well, look,
Everybody,
I find that I am following using opening. There are days on end that I don't even open Blue Sky. I thought I would really try to make a commitment to it way more than I ever did Twitter, or than I continue to do with TikTok. But I will say Blue Sky is a very, very well-run platform. It's very simple to use. It's very simple to read. and they simply just don't allow crap there. You cannot lie there. You just can't. It's everything that Twitter used to be and still should be. You just can't lie there. Can you express opinions there? Absolutely, including some really unpopular ones. But you can't just lie. And for that reason, it's a powerful, it's a simplistically powerful platform. Say that 10 times fast. But go ahead.
Yeah, I AP put out a long article today, and I posted it on my personal Facebook page, and it was the long history of tariffs, and that tariffs were the main cause, and it wasn't necessarily the stock market crash of '29. No, it was the Republicans in Congress, along with Hoover, that passed a across-the-board tariff act, and then that was reciprocated by Europe, and it just went back and forth, raising, and then boom, we had the great worldwide Republican recession that was not over, even with all the innovations that President Roosevelt brought up to employ people. It wasn't over. What got us out of the Depression finally was the fact that we were attacked at Pearl Harbor, and 2 days later, Germany and Italy declared war on us, and the factories reopened for war production.
Yes and no.
Anyway.
Yes and no. The war is, I think the war is all too conveniently, and especially from a Republican point of view, given full credit for ending the Republican Great Depression. What a surprise that Republicans would look for something other than Roosevelt to credit. Certainly, the war helped. It led to massive government spending. It led to statistically over full employment of the population because women went into the workforce as men were drafted to fight. But it really isn't the sole reason. There is a reason why the Depression did not just immediately kick back into gear as soon as the war was over. And it was did have a depression after and started in 1946. There was a slowdown, but never to the extent that it was prior, and you know that because there was a New Deal to put into place.
My father worked at Boeing, Wichita. They made the 2-passenger trainer planes the U.S. Army Air Force used. That made the B-17, the short-range bomber, and the B-29, the long-range bomber for the Pacific. And he had 1,000 women working under him on the production lines. Of course, the war's over. They're all going back. They all went back to the farms in Kansas. They all, they went back to wait husbands or boyfriends coming home, if they were. And he was taking down the 230 employees at that giant production plant in Wichita. And he said, "Yeah, some days I would do the mail run. Some days I'd clean a bathroom or two. Some days I'd be in the guardhouse." And he says, "And once in a while, I would work on a single plane." And of course, then the Cold War started in '47, and boom, we're right back in war production. So yes, it did end the war. I mean, it did end the Great Depression.
Not by itself. I absolutely disagree, and will never agree with you. History doesn't show that. It was a great. It was a great aid. It was a stimulator. It delayed the reinstitution of Depression-era economic standards for how long the war lasted. But it was simply not the only thing that led the globe out of a global Republican Great Depression. It simply wasn't. History shows you where that falls.
The globe here. Hell, you got to give Hitler credit for one thing. He built the Autobahn. and put people to work. Yeah, and of course the war production started. The factories were built to make planes and guns, et cetera, et cetera. But now I totally understand. I wasn't talking about the worldwide depression at that point. I'm talking about the depression that was still going here in America at that point, Jeff. And yeah, I disagree to disagree. But in any case, hey, get well, and I'll be with you on Thursday, my brother.
How are you feeling?
I went to see I went to get another eye test today from a surgeon. So I got 2 cataract surgeries coming up in and I go back to the cardiologist for the second time in this month. I just got appointments or procedures or surgeries. Like, gotta love it, right? Gotta love it.
Use it while you can.
Well, I'm trying to get everything done because I just got a gut feeling I'm not going to have Medicare, and I keep seeing these glitches on the computer system for Social Security, and I read that article last week that was talking about the 1960s. I think it's pronounced COBOL computer language that. Our whole financial system in this country, every bank, every insurance company, Social Security, at the bottom of the computer programs that have been added over the decades is this archaic system. And the Doge boys are in there. They're going to replace in a couple of weeks. Yeah, I went through for work, man. On fire alarm systems when I was a fire marshal at that time for 401k, and I had to get new firmware to put in each fire alarm system, or they would at midnight they would have just they wouldn't have worked, and that was all based on COBOL. Is that how you say it, George?
That's what they call it. It was COBOL, right?
Yeah, it was COBOL. It was common business language.
It was also
yes.
It was also one of the original colonies.
Yes, and Battlestar Galactica. Yes.
I try to do something to make George smile at least twice a show, and that was my second one. I think for today. I think I might have done it. My sarcasm was one, and I mentioned the tribe of COBOL. So now I'm in good shape. I'm allowed to say. I'm allowed to say I accomplished it.
All right, well, we'll let you go, guys, and see you Thursday.
We'll be here, sir. Thank you so much, as always.
You got it, my bro. Bye, Jeff. Bye, George.
All right. It is about 5 after 9, and I think that's about all the damage that we can do for one night. I could easily continue or try to continue to go, but I really can't easily continue to go, so I'm not going to. There's a lot of healing left to go on in this body, and I see no reason to continue to blabber. I know there's a couple of topics that we did not get to. That's okay. That's why God invented Thursday. We'll come back and we'll talk to you again on Thursday. Big special thanks to Pastor Clinton for jumping in the chat today and listening in. A constant source of strength and comfort, constantly checking in on me while I've been away. I'll tell you, folks, that there's a lot of things wrong with social media. I mean, I don't think you need me to tell you that. There's a lot of things wrong with social media. I'm not breaking any ground there. But what I can say is that it is still a place where we can connect, and that these connections can be genuine. Friendships can be built. And I've been fortunate enough that Pastor Clinton's been one of those. And we've been blessed enough to be in each other's company, face to face. You can still make friends and connections via social media. We have to be careful with it, of course, We need to make sure that it continues to be honest and true, and oh boy, and that it continues to operate in the right way. Let's say operate in the way it was originally designed to operate. They're always going to take your data. They're always going to sell your data. There's a lot of things that are wrong with social media, but you can still make genuine, real friendships and real connections, and so Pastor Clinton's been for us. But so let me just say, you have been listening to and watching TKE Tonight, the Kennedy Effect Tonight, live with you for the 8th of April, 2025. We have been live on the pages of the TCP Media Group, Our Revolution Pennsylvania, Hot101.net, and Ghost Claw Productions Radio. Our home group Facebook page is That Other Side of Information. It is also the name of our YouTube channel, and we have been live on the YouTube channel of Ghost Claw Productions Radio. If you missed any of our program tonight, strongly suggest that you visit one of the two YouTube channels, either or, That Other Side of Information or Ghost Claw Productions Radio, and catch up on what you missed. Hot101.net, our name is our web address. If you can connect to the internet above, on, or below Earth, you can listen to Hot101.net. Immediately following us there, the music returns. You don't need the website, by the way, to listen. You can use our apps, Apple App Store, Google Play Store for Android, and the TuneIn Radio app. You can, of course, also tell Alexa to play Hot101.net. Hot101.net has launched its Spanish channel called Caliente101.net. Very, very simple. Spanish word for hot is caliente. Caliente101.net. Hot101.net in Spanish. If you are a person of Spanish descent, if you just happen to like Spanish music, Caliente101.net is the place for you. Strongly suggest that you check it out. Go to Hot101.net and you can find it there. You can also go directly to Caliente101.net. Don't hold your breath for my program to be on Caliente101.net, because I know less than 100 words of Spanish. Certainly not enough to do a political talk program. So don't hold your breath for us to be on Caliente anytime soon. But you can check it out. It is up and operating. I had announced a couple months ago that they would be starting it. It is now up and running. You can check it out if that is your taste to do so. So for everyone at Hot101.net, I want to say thanks for being patient with us this past Sunday. We apologize for the technical problems, but everything appears to be up, running, kosher. Everything's good to go now, and has been, I believe, through the program. Nobody told me anything different. So, and I don't have really the ability to check it while I'm on the air, or else I don't talk anymore, which might be the best thing for the program if you really think about it. But we're all good. And so thanks to everybody at Hot101.net for being patient with us. And congratulations to the Hot101.net family on the launch of Caliente101.net. For everybody at Hot101.net, DJ Lex and DJ Earl, that's all the damage we can do for tonight. The music returns to you right now. We'll talk to you again Thursday from 8 p.m. For everyone at GCPR, Thomas, Gilbert, Gambit, and the entire GCPR family, I almost said the wrong thing again. You got a little... you know what I almost said. I finally remembered what the hell show was after me, and now it's not after me anymore. It took me 3 months to remember who the hell was after me. Finally got it nailed down in my skull, and it's not... They don't follow us anymore. You got a little bit of a break. Go walk the dog, have some ice cream. I've been dreaming about ice cream for 3 weeks. I think I'm finally going to drink some milk tonight, though, to try and quiet my stomach. But walk the dog, drink some milk, catch up on the baseball, whatever it is that you're into. Conversations with Teen Nathan comes up from 11 p.m. Eastern Time. And then Thomas returns tomorrow morning with the Sound of Coffee, tomorrow morning, Wednesday morning, from 8 a.m. Eastern Time here on GCPR. For everyone at GCPR, that's all the damage we can do here on TKE tonight. We'll see you again on Thursday from 8 p.m. Again, remember, T. Nathan from 11, Thomas tomorrow morning at 8. We'll see you Thursday from 8 p.m. And for our social media video streaming platforms, thanks for being with us yet again. We return to you Thursday. For everybody at TKE Tonight, The Kennedy Effect, that's Lynn and George and Kristen, Daisy the dog, and of course April Riddick. We'll see you again on Thursday from 8 p.m. Thanks so much.